So next we have Wien bridge oscillator, the other type of oscillator. Yesterday we had seen RC phase shift oscillator, and today we have Wien bridge oscillator. And all of you know what are the necessary conditions to produce oscillations. That is, total phase shift should be is equal to 360 or 0 degree, and the gain product of open loop gain and the feedback gain should be is equal to 1. That is, A beta should be is equal to 1. And that now I'll show you the circuit diagram for Wien bridge oscillator. This we can write using transistor also and op amp also. I'm here considering op amp based Wien bridge oscillator. Okay. So you can observe the figure here now. So I had considered op amp based Wien bridge oscillator. So in order to have more stability and flexibility in changing the frequency, so Wien bridge oscillator is used. Why the Wien bridge oscillator is used means, so in order to have a more stability and also the flexibility in generating the frequency. So generating the waveform is nothing but you're generating frequency, right? So in order to have the flexibility in generating the frequency, we are going for Wien bridge oscillator. Here you can observe, so I have taken op amp based Wien bridge oscillator. The same can be written using transistor also. So this is a feedback network which is consisting of a Wien bridge circuit. So this is called as your bridge circuit. So the op amp is used in inverting mode. So this is inverting terminal and this is non-inverting terminal. Whatever the input you are giving into this inverting terminal, the output will be get inverted. 180 degree out of phase it will be there. Okay. So here as this is called your bridge circuit, and this is given as an input to non-inverting terminal. So it is not giving any phase shift. Okay. So the op amp is used in non-inverting configuration. So oscillations occur at the frequencies for which the phase shift through the Wien bridge is 0 degree. So the phase shift through the Wien bridge it will be 0 degree. So because amplifier is used in non-inverting mode. So the same figure, the Wien bridge oscillator using op amp can be redrawn. You can observe here, I have the same circuit I have redrawn here. Okay, you can observe the Wien bridge is connected to the non-inverting terminal of the op amp. Okay, and this R3 and R4 represents the feedback. Okay, gain. So this decides the gain of this amplifier. This you will understand when we are studying the third module. Okay, so I'll tell you in detail there. So this R3 and R4 are responsible for the gain of this amplifier. So the R1, C1, R2 and C2, this is a bridge circuit. Okay, so this is responsible for this decides the frequency of the oscillation it is producing. Okay, either you can write this circuit or you can write this circuit. Now we have derivation for the frequency of oscillations for Wien bridge. Okay, so I am considering only this part. Okay, this bridge circuit I will be considering. Here this op amp we are not considering. You can observe the two R1 and C1, it is connected in series, the other it is connected in parallel. Okay, so this circuit I'll consider for the derivation of frequency. So this it is very important. This derivation is, please understand. Okay, concentrate. This is very important. So in the examination this will be asked. Okay, derivation for frequency of oscillations, using Wien bridge. Okay, I'll consider only the bridge circuit here. So it is consisting of one resistance and capacitance in series and the one resistance and capacitance in parallel. Okay, only the bridge circuit we have to consider. Okay, one resistance and one capacitor in parallel. So this is what your bridge circuit is, isn't it? So here, so this is Wien and this is V out. Okay, and let me take this as C1 R1 and this is C2 R2. Okay, and together this C1 and R1 together it is taken as Z1. Okay, and this R2 and C2 together it is taken as Z2. Okay, so let us consider the feedback network of the Wien bridge oscillator. Let us consider the feedback network. This is the feedback network of the Wien bridge oscillator as shown in figure. Okay, which is consisting of two RC sections. One RC network is connected in series, the other one RC network it is connected in parallel. So now let us consider the impedance of the series RC network as a Z1 and the impedance of the parallel RC network as Z2. So the series RC network represents the high pass filter. So this combination of this R and C, it represents the high pass filter, and this parallel RC network represents the low pass filter with low impedance. Okay, so these both together forms a notch filter. I have both high pass filter and the low pass filter. How the frequency response of a notch filter is? So for the lower frequencies it will act as a high pass filter, and for the higher frequencies it acts as a low pass filter. The combination of these two together it will be acting as a notch filter. The frequency of this it will looks like this. Okay, so this is the gain A naught, and here you will be getting minus 3 dB. So this is your cutoff frequencies. So this is your resonant frequency. Resonant frequency is the frequency at which it is having the maximum gain. Okay, F1 and F2. F2 represents a higher frequency. F1 represents a lower cutoff frequency. F0 is called the resonant frequency. Okay, as already said, the feedback network should provide a 0 degree phase shift. Okay, the frequency at which the feedback network providing 0 phase shift is called your resonant frequency. In both the ways you can say the frequency at which it is providing the maximum gain, okay, or where it is providing 0 degree phase shift. So that is also it is called as your resonant frequency. Resonant frequency is nothing but your frequency of oscillations. Okay, so the response of this circuit feedback network, it is nothing but your notch filter. Okay, so I have shown the frequency response of the notch filter here. Both these RC networks together it will act as a notch filter. Okay, from the figure, from this circuit diagram, I can write V out is equal to Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2 into V in. This is nothing but your voltage divider. Okay, you are applying the voltage divider here. Okay, so I can write V out is equal to, this V out is equal to, it is Z2. Okay, Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2 into V in. Okay, so this can be rewritten as V out divided by V in, which is equal to Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. Okay, so this is what your, let me take this as equation 1. Okay, this is nothing but your gain of the feedback filter, isn't it? So not filter, feedback network, gain of the feedback network, V out divided by V in. So we have to calculate this now, Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2, what you will get. So that will give you the feedback network frequency of oscillation. So we have V out divided by V in is equal to Z2 by Z1 plus Z2, is it not? So what is our Z2 is? Z2 is, it is a RC network in which your R2 is connected in parallel with the C2, is it not? So we will not take it as C2, we will take it as XC2, that is reactance. Okay, so we are considering the impedance, right? So Z1 is your R1 plus XC1. Okay, so this we have is XC2 in parallel with the R2. Okay, where this XC2 represents, which is equal to 1 divided by j omega C2. Okay, and what is this XC1 represents? So this is R1 plus XC1 is 1 divided by j omega C1. So this omega represents, it is the angular frequency. So here you have Z2 is equal to R2 in parallel with this 1 by j omega C2. So your Z2, it will become R2 into 1 by j omega C2 divided by R2 plus 1 by j omega C2. Simplifying this, we'll get Z2 is equal to this and this, it will get cancelled, isn't it? So we'll get R2 divided by so taking LCM, this will get multiplied with this. So we'll get R2 j omega C2 plus 1. Is it not? So this is what your Z2 is. Let me take this as equation 2. Now simplifying this, what I'll get? LCM, it will be j omega C1. Okay, and this it will get multiplied with this. So we'll get j omega C1 R1 plus 1. Correct? So let me take this as equation 3. Now I have the values for Z1 and also Z2. Substitute the value of Z1 and Z2 in equation 1. So this is what we have taken, the equation 1, isn't it? So that will gives you the gain. Correct? V out divided by V in. Substitute the values of Z1 and Z2 in equation 1. Okay. So I'll write substituting equation substituting equation 2 and 1, substituting 2 and 3, I'm very sorry, Z1 and Z2 in equation 1. Okay, so that is you have V out divided by V in, which is equal to what it is there, Z2 divided by Z1 plus Z2. What you have for Z2? It is R2 divided by R2 C2 j omega plus 1 divided by R1. So Z1, it is j omega R1 C1 plus 1 divided by j omega C1 plus Z2 is R2 C2 j omega plus 1. Is it not? Substituting 2 and 3 in equation 1 will get this. Now you simplify this. Simplifying this means taking LCM and cancelling out the terms, what we'll get. So this V out by V in, I'll write this R2 divided by R2 C2 j omega plus 1. Okay, this denominator. So taking LCM, this will go to numerator, is it not? So that is you will get j omega C1 into 1 plus j omega R2 C2, isn't it? LCM for this is j omega C1 R2 C2 j omega plus 1, isn't it? So this will go to numerator. Okay, in the denominator we'll get j omega R1 C1 plus 1 into 1 plus j omega R2 C2 plus R2 j omega C1. Okay, so here you have j omega R1 C1 plus 1, isn't it? So LCM is this. Okay, so multiplying this with this one. Okay, so that is what you will get here. Okay, and the other term is R2 you have, so that will be get multiplied with j omega C1. That is what I have written here. Okay. Now, so this R2C2 j omega plus 1 and this R2C2 j omega plus 1 gets cancelled. Is it not? So now I'll remain with j omega R2C1 in the numerator. In the denominator we have, it will be j omega R1C1 plus 1 j omega R1C1 plus 1 multiply this. Okay, I'm multiplying this, these two. I'll be getting j omega R1C1, okay, plus 1. Now this it is j omega R1C1 into j omega R2C2. So this will become j square. J square is nothing but it is minus 1, okay, into omega square. Okay, omega square R1C1 R2C2. Okay, this j and j get multiplied, so it will become j square. J square is nothing but I square, so that is minus 1. Okay, omega square into R1C1 R2C2 will get. Okay, plus again multiply with this, so that is plus R2 and this, right? So R2C2 j omega plus you have R2 j omega C1. This is what you will get. Okay, this we have, right, that we can write it as 1 minus omega square R1C1 R2C2. You can group that into 1. And here this 2 you can take this as common here. So this is R2C2 j omega. Taking j omega common here, so that you can make it as one group. So now I'll write beta. So this is nothing but your feedback factor, right? So beta V out divided by V in. So that will be equal to j omega R2C1 divided by, okay, so 1 minus omega square R1C1 R2C2, okay, plus j omega. Taking j omega common, I'll be having R1C1 plus R2C1, this R2C1 and R1C1 plus R2C2, this plus R2C2. 3 terms you will get. Okay, so this is what we'll get. To find the resonant frequency, we have to find the equation for frequency, right? So to find the resonant frequency, equate this 1 minus omega square R1C1 R2C2 to 0. Okay, so equate 1 minus omega square R1C1 R2C2 to is equal to 0. So this will be omega square R1C1 R2C2, which will be equal to 1. So omega will be equal to 1 divided by root of R1C1 R2C2. So this omega is nothing but 2 pi f. So 2 pi f is equal to, it is 1 divided by root of R1C1 R2C2. Correct? So f will be equal to, f will be equal to 1 divided by it is 2 pi root of R1 R2 C1 C2. Isn't not? So this is what we have got. In case if we take R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2. If we take R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2, then we'll get beta is equal to V out divided by V in, which will be Yeah, not this. So we'll get f is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi root of RC. Okay. So if we take R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2, then we'll get f is equal to 1 by 2 pi into root of RC. This is the equation for finding the frequency of oscillations by using Wien bridge. Okay. So now to find the feedback factor, that is beta. What is the feedback factor beta? So for that we have to consider one more term in the equation. So therefore we have what is beta now. So therefore beta is equal to, it is a V out divided by V in, which will be equal to j omega R2C1 divided by j omega into R1C1 plus R2C1 plus R2C2, isn't it? So because we had taken that another term as 0, correct? So now this j omega and j omega gets cancelled. We'll get beta is equal to R2C1 divided by R1C1 plus R2C1 plus R2C2, isn't not? So now if I consider R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2, if same condition R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2, if we take, we'll get beta is equal to RC divided by 3RC, is it not? So we'll get beta is equal to 1 by 3. Okay, we'll get beta is equal to 1 by 3. So we know that for the Barkesian criteria, A beta should be is equal to 1. Is it not? For Barkesian criteria, the magnitude of A beta should be is equal to 1. So we have A is equal to 1 by beta. So what is beta is? Beta is equal to, we have, it is R2C1 divided by R1C1 plus R2C2 plus R2C1, is it not? So substituting this, will get here A is equal to R1C1 plus R2C2 plus R2C1 divided by R2C1 you will get, correct? So dividing this, will get C1 gets cancelled, you will get R1 by R2 plus, here R2 and R2 gets cancelled, you will get C2 by C1, and this it gets cancelled and you will get 1. So A is equal to, so gain of the non-inverting amplifier. So gain of the non-inverting amplifier, we had taken op-amp based, right? And that too it is non-inverting. So gain of a non-inverting amplifier, it is given by A is equal to 1 plus R4 by R3. Now equate this and this. So we'll get 1 plus R4 by R3 is equal to, it is R1 by R2 plus C2 by C1 plus 1. So simplifying this, we'll get R4 by R3. This 1 and 1 gets cancelled. R4 by R3 should be equal to R1 by R2 plus C2 by C1. So this is the condition to be satisfied for sustained oscillations. Okay, this condition, it has to be satisfied. When you are designing a Wien bridge oscillator circuit, you need to consider this to get a sustained oscillations. Okay, this is for gain condition. Now we'll see for one more, that is the A beta condition. Okay, so we know that A beta is equal to 1. So we also got a beta is equal to 1 by 3. Correct? Substituting that, we'll get A is equal to 3. Is it not? So we know that A beta is equal to 1, correct? So we have got beta is equal to 1 by 3. So what you will get A? A you will be getting it as 3, correct? And we know that A is equal to 1 plus R4 by R3, correct? So equate these two. 1 plus R4 by R3 is equal to, it is 3. So you'll be getting R4 by R3 is equal to 2. So okay, so we'll get R4 is equal to 2R3. So this is the condition to design the non-inverting amplifier. Okay, so summarizing all these points, we can write the frequency. So it has to satisfy the condition. So Barkisian criteria, your sustained oscillations condition, it has to satisfy R4 by R3 is equal to R1 by R2 plus C2 by C1. Okay, C2 by C1. And frequency, what we have got? Frequency is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of R1 R2 C1 C2. Okay, and if R1 is equal to R2 and C1 is equal to C2, we will get F is equal to, it is 1 by 2 pi RC. And ratio of R3 to R4 must be greater than 2 to provide sufficient loop gain for the circuit to oscillate at resonant frequency. Okay, that is what you have got, a ratio of R4 by R3. R4 by R3 you got it as 2, right? So it should be greater than 2.